This podcast is brought to you by Legend, Comics, and Coffee in Omaha, Nebraska, and listeners like you. Become a patron by clicking the Donate Now button at twoheadednerd.com. Hey, we take PayPal donations too. Help keep the show ad-free.
Once, they were two best friends managing a comic book store. But when an innocent blood oath went wrong, the two found themselves trapped in the same body, imprisoned in a strange pyramid made of long boxes, buried deep below their hometown, where they are doomed to discuss comic books until the end of time. They were once Joe and Matt. Now they are known as the Two-Headed Nerd. And this is their podcast.
Broadcasting from the Ziggurat at Omaha in caverns deep below the metro area, it is our dubious pleasure to welcome you to another Back Issue Show, episode 807 of the Two-Headed Nerd comic book podcast. I'm your head number one, the internet's Joe Patrick.
I am your head number two. My name is Matt Baum. And finally, to all things, an ending. We find ourselves at the conclusion of our DCKO coverage. As you've come to expect, these will be spoiler-filled breakdowns that will include our ratings, Easter eggs, and all manner of manic discussion of all the affected DC lore.
In this episode, we will discuss the final 6 issues of the DCKO crossover and rate them with our buy it, skim it, or leave it scale. We'll also let you know if each issue is a core issue, a must-read tie-in, or just a KO cash grab. Round 6 is our final round, and it features the championship battle and another loaded fight card. Jeremy Adams' Aquaman is kind of reborn.
Sort of.
Terra reckons with the Titans in John Layman and Pete Wood's final issue of the arc.
Again, sort of.
Mark Waid and Christopher Cantwell prove Impulse is as dumb as we thought he was, even if he is the living Speed Force. Definitely. Mr. Terrific's last stand against Neron in the finale of the Terrific 10 storyline, and KO number 5. Lex versus Darkseid.
I can't believe what Lex does to Darkseid in this one, you guys.
You'll never see it coming,
My
guys.
God.
Take your seats and prepare to have your hair blown back. The DCU may never be the same again after this back issue time in the Ziggurat.
As loyal listeners will recall, we left off with Aquaman number 14, one of the more important DCKO tie-ins as it's gone. This is written by Jeremy Adams, main cover by Daniel Bayliss, art also by Bayliss, lettered by Dave Sharp, 32 pages, $3.99. Here's your solicit, catching up with Atlantis. While Arthur is away at the KO tournament, he did. Atlantis falls under attack by a mistress witch
on holiday at the
deep.
KO tournament.
Yes. Mora must lead the defense, but a shocking revelation about her past might be the very thing that sinks the city once and for all. So, you may have guessed.
I'm gonna say it right here, Matt. If your solicit starts with catching up with Atlantis, you're probably not doing anything too important.
Okay, let's back up. There's important shit going on. It's just very Atlantean, right?
Sure, okay, yeah, right. A lot of blue bullshit.
Most notably, we found out what we've all guessed for 2 issues now. Adrena reveals her true identity. She is Lolana Marana Chala. Love that name. Lolana Marana Chala Fofala Mi Ma Momala. Lolana, the Crimson Queen, because she got red hair, traps the Justice League blue. That's all the Justice League members that do water stuff. Using animated water, just like Aquaman used to. Lolana, she was the rebel leader and daughter of the wizard Thule.
She's also Mira's mother.
You are correct. Mira's mama, she ain't dead, and she's really young and hot. Like, maybe hotter than Mira. It's weird. Lolana was not dead. She was petrified after a deal with the god Dagon, named after an H.P. Lovecraft monster, right? She was the statue. Dagon used Lolana to lure Arthur into a trap to prevent him from becoming the true avatar of the Blue. Although, I would say he kind of was already the avatar of the Blue. We saw him whipping ass in the KO tournament, and he had to pull his punches so he could lose. The tide of the jewels, whatever, is revealed as conduits that drained Arthur's Tournament 1 Omega energy into Lolana, which happened at a distance. It was like spooky motion at a distance type thing because Arthur was not around. She just kind of sucked the energy from the statue, I guess.
She was draining the Omega energy from Arthur as he accumulated it in the tournament
from a distance. So maybe that's why he lost.
Seems like something the Heart of Apocalypse probably wouldn't have allowed, but
we'll talk about the heart more
don't
later.
Think about it too hard.
Lolana uses Arthur's stolen power to raise a new island empire from the seafloor. Arthur, drained of his essence, turns into a puddle and he vanishes. But in our cliffhanger, Mira attacks her mom while a de-aged Arthur Curry washes up on a distant beach. Oh my God! This had little or nothing to do with KO, as far as I could tell, other than they were like, yeah, now you got the Omega energy. And we'll have discussions about Omega energy in a little while here.
I mean, something I think that you've probably all learned after 5 episodes of this bullshit is that they toss around the word Omega a lot and it very rarely means anything.
Yeah, this more and more, I think we are in Red Sky Crisis territory with a lot of these tie-ins. So is this a must-read tie-in? No. Absolutely not. Is it good? You know what? Jeremy Adams got me interested in what's going on in Aquaman. I'm going to check out what's going on. I couldn't follow some of this, but it led up to some interesting things that are happening to the character. I'm going to give this issue a buy it because it's well done and they're doing cool stuff with Aquaman. And I'm curious as to see what happens next. This is not a tie-in you need to read for KO.
This is where I think our rating system sort of fails us because I feel bad giving a comic a skim it just because I don't really understand everything. But it's not the failing of the comic. It's just by virtue of the fact that I don't read Aquaman.
Well, you could do what I did and say they're doing a good job.
I know, I understand. But like, did we give the other issues buy-its? I don't recall.
I did,
but
yes.
I do agree that the comic book is good. And I think that being lost about some of the stuff would probably be cured by just being up to date on the previous.
Yes, of course.
However many issues.
I mean, you can see that for any comic book, unless the comic book is fundamentally flawed.
No, I understand. So it's like, is it a good place for you to just jump in? No. But is it a good tie-in? Also, no. Is it a good comic book? Yes, definitely. So it's a buy it for me, I guess, in that regard.
If you're into Aquaman and Atlantean bullshit, they're doing the job. They're doing the job.
Well done on all accounts.
But they didn't close the book on anything that was going on, certainly.
No. And actually, the book has been retitled. The next issue came out today, as a matter of fact. And the new title of the book is, in fact, Emperor Aquaman. And it picks up right where this leaves off with Mira very angry at her mother.
Today being March 11th. Ain't nobody listening to this on March 11th.
Our next chapter is Titans 32. It's written by John Layman, main cover and art by Pete Woods. He does the colors as well. Letters are by Wes Abbott, and it is 32 pages for $3.99. Here's the solicit. The Titans are Earth's last line of defense. The solicit is wrong. The solicit is talking about Jinx terrorizing Gem World, but we kind of resolved that in the cliffhanger of the last one.
Yeah. I think Terra
Cyborg,
is the new thing.
Yeah, because Terra shows up and fucking solves the problem, and then of course betrays everybody. Cyborg is still gone. The Titans are spread all over the dang place. With their backs against the wall, Arsenal and Donna Troy prepare for battle. Yeah, see, again, they're already doing that. Roy got rocked real bad. Is he dead? No. Did it look like he got vaporized? Definitely yes. Is this the Titans' last stand, or is it the beginning of something new? There you go. That's an accurate phrase for the solicit. So the story opens up in the past here, and it harkens back to the Titans talking about how much Terra sucks.
She sucks.
This is from this current volume of Titans, where she teamed up with Deathstroke again. That's why she was imprisoned in Titan's Tower, and they're debating what to do with her. Turns out they knew that she was going to freak out. It's in her nature. But they want to try their Titans family Care Bears there to see if they can make her good again.
I am so over this shit.
Because they never fucking
I am
learn.
so over this shit. Like, you can't just give everybody a hug until they're not a bad guy anymore. It does not work, especially with little girls that were raped by old men, Like, it's a bad idea.
Except in this issue, where it definitely does work.
For now. How soon before Terra freaks out
yes.
again?
Meanwhile, on Earth, Grail, daughter of Darkseid, has Donna Troy in these comically large shackles. I'm glad you wrote comically large.
They're ridiculous.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
They are huge.
Pete Woods makes them look cool, but they're huge.
They're just like...
And like, Donna's a badass, sure, but like, is she like Hulk level badass?
They are... imagine how big you think they are, and then like triple that. That's how big they are.
Like shackles you would literally put on the Hulk if you were going to try and hold.
Or Godzilla. She says, hey, come work for me, or I'll kill Arsenal. That old chestnut. Back on Gem World, Terra, she's not really convinced, but they're, sort of convincing. Raven is like, where has being bad gotten you? This is your life. Is this really what you want? The Titans voted unanimously. We all love you. We want you to be part of the team, be part of the family.
What a great idea.
I know. Back on Earth, the kids are all fight gang shows up. Just minus Static, by the way. He decided he had better things to do.
Yeah, Static is busy, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
This is, of course, right as Grail is about to kill Donna. It's a really cool splash page.
It's a cool splash page.
Cool moment.
If you are following the Dakota Incident conspiracy theory, man, this is going to tweak your bean.
So essentially, Static showed up for 5 minutes to save Superboy and these preteens, and then fucked off to parts unknown.
Peaced out. Yeah.
Yeah. Fairplay, who, as we discussed during the Kids Are All Fight, is the son of Mr. Terrific, raised on Apocalypse. He's got little mother boxes that float around instead of T-spears. He opens a boom tube. Everyone shoots Grail with whatever they got, and it pushes her into the portal. Boom.
They Care Bear stare her into the portal.
They say,
right. They all shoot
there's a lot of that going around.
The symbols on their chest come off.
When all is said and done. Oh, at this point, by the way, Terra has decided, yeah, okay, I guess I'm going to be a good guy. And she, saves Gemworld. So at the end, Raven telepathically gathers up the original Titans gang, like the adults, with help from Terra and Amethyst to amp up her magic powers so that they can have a virtual psychic hug.
Yeah. Is there another superhero team that hugs this much? The Get Along Gang didn't hug this much.
The Get Along Gang, yeah.
My God.
Cyborg is still not here. So at this point, they don't know what's going on. Don't give up hope, though. This is the final issue of John Layman and Pete Woods' run. Next issue, the book, much like Aquaman, is getting a new title. Because we have a new Teen Titans #1 coming from Kyle Higgins, this book is transforming into New Titans. And the new creative team is Tate Bromball, Sammy Basri, and Adriano Lucas.
Yeah, the new Teen Titans thing is a different thing by Kyle.
It's a different book, yeah. But
That's
this book is continuing.
Book. Yeah.
Hey, remember when we talked about the announcement of the new Teen Titans book and we're like, what the fuck? Why isn't this The Kids Are All Fight? Well, the new Teen Titans, the new Titans is Superboy, or John Kent rather, Yara Floor, Terra, spoiler. So some of that, they're kind of those groups are splitting into two books.
Right. They're doing
the young kids and these guys.
They are doing the thing we thought, but Static's also not in that book either. So sorry.
Static is not involved. Static is still not involved.
All right. Was this a must read tie-in? Yes or no?
Oh, no.
No, it was not. It wasn't.
I mean, but I as a tie-in, this was probably one of my favorites. I think it's the most consistently good, other than Superman, which we're going to discuss.
I think we wandered off into a lot of this Gem World shit that I don't care about. The Terra shit, I find.
But some people do care about.
I find that Terra shit just cloyingly stupid. Just stupid. And I've had enough of John Layman's Titans hugging and using the power of family to solve everything. And maybe they've always done that
too.
Maybe they've always done that with these characters. I don't know.
They've always done it.
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm giving this a Skim It at best.
I mean, this is a buy it for me. I think this is a great wrap up to the run and the series of tie-ins. Pete Woods has killed it on this book since he joined.
Looks great.
And yeah, it's just really, really well done. Your mileage may vary on the Gem World and Terra stuff.
Let's get to the biggest mystery of KO so far that will finally be answered. What is Omega Speed? We'll find out in the pages of The Flash 30 from DC Comics, written by Mark Waid and Christopher Cantwell, cover by Dan Mora, art by Vasco Georgiev, colors by Matt Herms, letters by Hassan Asman Halau. Page count, 32 pages. Price, $3.99. Standard. Here's your solicit. Speedsters from the present meet Darkseid from the past. The Speedsters' race through time has led them to an encounter with Darkseid from the past, and their escape leads them to a shocking reunion. Well, we call it. At least I did anyway. Impulse ran back to the original Crisis.
Right. But also, it did end up being a mind whammy. You were right about that.
Of course, it's a mind whammy. Yes, I believe you, obviously. But he's there to stop Barry in the middle of Crisis on Infinite Earths, who is about to shut down the Anti-Monitor's plan to shoot an antimatter cannon that will destroy all the universes. A lot of anti stuff going on.
The remaining universes as of Crisis on Infinite Earths number 8, and they somehow whittled an infinite number down to 5.
Well, I mean, they killed a lot of them. So there you go.
I mean, that's not how infinity works, but sure.
Okay. Impulse shows up and, of course, does something stupid. Tries to save Barry, which is exactly what Darkseid wants. We cut to his adorable, cute baby face. For some reason, past Darkseid is drawn with like they took his face and they shrunk it in the middle of his head for some reason.
So here is actually where I am confused, because is this past Darkseid? Because the Legion of Darkseid is here talking to him and he's like,
but that Legion
by it.
is also sent on missions. I mean, like, this is happening in the past because the Legion is sent on the mission to do the other stuff, to get Barry in place for the lightning bolt so they can stop that. And when that doesn't work, the last thing they do is send Impulse back in time. So it's like he did 2 plans, right? Both of which were set in motion in the past. I think you're giving the
creators a lot of credit here.
This is all I can do. This is what they're telling me. Do they sell it? Do they sell it? I would argue no. It barely makes sense. Right?
Because let me tell you a little something about what happens with Darkseid in Crisis on Infinite Earths. He helps the heroes defeat the Anti-Monitor.
Right. Like, some of this is just bizarre. And here he's talking.
I think this is present day Darkseid looking very not King Omega-y.
Okay, when I say past, I mean recent past. Not far past. Just like this has been jumping around in time. This isn't like all the way back at the Crisis, because he's got his Dark Legion with him. And if the Dark Legion is there, then he's already built the Absolute World and the Dark Legion in the future and shit, right?
It's unclear, to say the very least.
This is the problem with fucking time travel in the Flash and why I'm over it. Regardless.
Nope, it's not the problem with time travel. This is just not thought out very well.
Darkseid talking to the gang. His plan was to send Impulse back to the Crisis so he would save Barry and the Speed Force would die. So there you go. That's what Omega Speed is, Joe. We're done talking about it. We figured it out.
I don't think I heard a definition in any of that.
We got it. It's done. Of course, Wally shows up because he either ran back in time or flew back in time with his
still
ring.
has that ring. He's got that ring.
It allows him to fly back in time, I guess.
No, Wally can move fast enough to time travel. He just happens to have a Legion flight ring.
So at any point, Wally could run back to the Crisis. Any point, if he felt like it.
Wally West, through the Speed Force, has the ability to time travel. Yes.
Why does Wally West ever lose any fight?
Because, Matt, as has been made abundantly clear in dozens and dozens of stories, trying to change the past is a fool's errand.
Okay, fair enough. So Wally still shows up here in the recent past and decides he's going to put Darkseid in a chokehold and he's going to end all of this because, you know, he's the Flash. So, like, what are we doing, guys?
So they're watching Bart and Barry wrestle in the 80s, right? On TV. Their TV is tuned to the 80s.
Sure. To the Crisis. They're watching
Apocalypse and his cronies are, I guess, in the present day.
I don't know. Yeah,
or at least the recent fucking past.
It's the 24/7 Crisis on Infinite Earth's Roku channel.
It cannot be understated that none of this makes any fucking sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, Max Mercury's in the past looking for Rocky Davis and Ultivac, you know, old fan favorites, Rocky Davis and Ultivac of the Challengers of the Unknown. Because Rocky is immune to Omega energy, Joe. We found out in the pages of Challengers number 5. And when I say we found out, I'm half kidding because I don't think anybody read Challengers number 5.
Which is a shame because that was a good miniseries, also by Christopher Cantwell.
Fairly decent miniseries, yeah. Wally is still fighting Darkseid.
Well, at least give them credit for the editor's note here that says, hey, guess what? That's where you can
They're
find
at
out
least
what's going
telling
on
us
here.
this, yes. So Darkseid is trying to make Wally watch Barry and Bart on the 24/7 Crisis on Infinite Earth's Roku channel die, right? And Wally bugs out with his Legion rings. He's going to fly back to the Crisis. Rocky and Max and Ultivac show up at that same time because they're going to fight Darkseid now because Rocky is a guy with a gun, but guess what? Omega energy don't work on him, so he can totally beat up Darkseid, right? And Ultivac is a robot, and Ultivac does beat up Darkseid. You know how? He hits him real hard
with his fist.
Yeah, he does a Captain.
He also rocks evil Saturn Girl.
He does a Captain Kirk. He puts both fists above his head. Goes ba.
Also, Max Mercury is just a dude from the 1800s who does not understand or know any of these people.
He's on board.
This is Max from the past.
He's feeling much better. The Omega energy left him. He's feeling much better.
This is Whip Whirlwind.
Yeah,
still.
Whip.
Yeah.
So Wally flies to the Crisis, not important how. He grabs Bart and he's like, hey, don't do that. If you stop Barry, you know, I mean, like, bad shit happens. And Bart goes, okay, you're right. Then they run back to the future with help from Ultivac and everything resets and it's okay. There's no Omega Speed, the end. That's literally the end. I'm not being facetious here. I am not. I don't know what else to say. This comic book didn't make any fucking sense at all. And then it was over. Right? Not only is this not a must-read tie-in, we still don't know what Omega Speed even is.
Yeah.
We still don't understand what Darkseid's plan was at all and why he even needed to do any of this because he was already a god thanks to the Absolute Universe giving him all the Omega power and shit.
Right.
So it's like this is so tertiary and just thrown away because the only thing that changes, the only thing we did was establish that Bart is now the living, walking Speed Force. Everything else?
Which I guess is technically speaking important to that one character.
Sure. Everything else, completely the same. Nothing changed.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that it pains me to say this about a comic book written by literally my favorite comic book writer of all time and one of my current modern favorite writers. but this comic book is a leave it.
It's a leave it. I totally agree. This comes off like
there's nothing here.
This came off like they forgot they had to write this arc, and they were like, oh shit, slap something together. I don't know. Omega speed. Yeah. Time travel. Oh yeah, we'll do time travel. The Flash is always time traveling. You know?
Like, I don't know how a comic book by Mark Waid, the guy who fucking literally wrote the book about Wally West bumping around the time stream. I don't know how it is so poorly mishandled.
Well, and they do a thing. We'll get to it. I'm not going to give it away now. They do a thing in DCKO 5 that they could have done here, just as a hint to what's going to happen in DCKO 5, and it would still leave you like, what? What is Barry talking about, you guys? You know, like, but it's used in DCKO 5 as like this afterthought where we're like, huh? So we'll get there.
There's literally no reason for you to read this whole story arc.
Yeah.
Because we read it, we went into it thinking, okay, yeah, Mark Waid, Christopher Cantwell, this is going to be something. And by the end of it, I'm like, I wish I hadn't read it.
Yeah. It made Bart look stupid. It established him with powers we don't understand. And the whole time, the threat that we were dealing with, we still can't even quantify. Way to go, guys. The fuck is Omega speed? What is it?
It doesn't matter. And I'm going to try to stop thinking about it. But the good news is that this is over, and next issue, a new creative team takes over. It looks like it's getting back to kind of traditional Flash heroics. Ryan North is jumping ship over from Marvel, though I think he's done a few things at DC already. Gavin Guidry is the artist. Wally is out of that fucking terrible black and red costume and back in the real Flash outfit.
Yeah. And Brian Boland's doing one of the variants, and it's awesome.
Brian Boland is doing an homage variant to, it's an homage to Showcase number 4, first appearance of Barry Allen. It's an awesome cover. I'm excited for this. The rest of this can go pound sand.
Yeah, man. What a disappointment, really.
Yeah. So I hate to say it. We're going to move on to bigger and better things here with Justice League Unlimited 16. This is also written by Mark Waid. And, you're going to think, Joe, you just shit-talking him. Well, two things can be true.
I still have some questions after this is over, too, but we'll get there.
All right, sure. Art and cover by Dan Mora, colors by Tamara Bonville, and letters by Ariana Mar. 36 pages for $3.99. Here is your solicit, Mr. Terrific in Hell. He's been in hell for the last 4 chapters, but yeah. As the Earth's mass evacuation continues, in order to save millions, Mr. Terrific and what's left of his Terrific 10 must march through hell to confront its ultimate ruler, Neron, and expose the traitor in their midst. That was last issue, guys. Keep up. So, on Earth, this book opens on Earth. Members of the Justice League Unlimited, Airwave, etc. They're fighting Neron's army of D-listers in Oklahoma City. For those of you that don't remember, Neron convinced a bunch of lame villains to work for him to gather up souls, because with Earth about to be the new apocalypse, he did not know when he was going to be able to get back there get some souls.
The more I thought about this, because you were like, why would these villains do this? The more I thought about this, the more I was like, they're not going to go get in a Titan ship with the good guys and fly off.
Well, sure, but that's the villain's argument.
The
right?
other option was go to the Phantom Zone. Fuck that.
Which is which they know to be a prison. Yeah. No, I mean, from the villain's perspective, the villain perspective, they feel they have no choice. Neron is saying, look, I will save you. I will give you a place to ride out the storm. I just need you to gather up these souls, because my favorite fast food restaurant is closing, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to get to the new one down the road. That's essentially why he's doing this, because Earth is about to be a shithole, and he doesn't know when he's going to be able to get his souls.
I mean, sure, we're like stocking up on oil right now because things are fucked. I mean, Neron trades in souls.
Sure, but it's just like they announced that the Abelardo's down the street from me is closing, and so I need to get there before it's too late. In hell, Mr. Terrific is the last member of the Terrific 10 standing. Owl Woman has proven to be a traitor. But we find out that Mr. T had a suicide plan. He had a bomb on his ass, and Neron found it right away. And
he was going to blow up the devil, Joe.
Yeah, it's like,
like
that's adorable.
The
right?
smartest man on earth was going to blow up the devil.
I mean, maybe it was a special bomb.
I mean, he could have just been like, karate kick, and it would have been like, that might be a better plan.
If he had pulled out like a standard army grenade, that would have been funnier. But yeah. So, of course, we find out Owl Woman made this deal because she thinks Neron can save her. Remember, she is not real. She is just the echo of a real hero that has gone on to live their life. And Neron's like, I can make it so that you are real. And so she, jumped at it.
And I get that, too. Guess what?
That's the thing about Neron. He makes some very good points. Well, that's why people deal with him.
Mr. Terrific's like a whole pep talk was like, hey, you guys aren't even real people, so don't sweat it.
Right, exactly. So we get this info dump about Owl Woman and what she's been doing. Mr. Terrific is tortured a little bit by Neron, and he gets thrown into the abyss. It's a long trip, so pack a bag because we get a lot done before that even becomes a problem.
The abyss looks great, by the way, too. It's scary.
It does look great. So meanwhile, the heroes on Earth, they are not doing great. I will say this. Kadejos is fucking rad. He is a flaming werewolf.
He's pretty cool.
Fiery chains.
He's pretty cool. Yeah.
If he is the only good thing to come out of absolute power, I will take it.
A gold bro gets a moment too. Whatever.
I do like the golden frog.
Yeah, golden frog gets a moment. Cool. That was pretty cool.
Neron sends Owl Woman to Earth to help the villains. Huge mistake. Go to where the inspiring heroes are and help the villains defeat them. There is an effect when Neron teleports her from hell. Her entire body gets like skinned apart.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell what I guess
it's like she's going up, right?
Right.
And she's like getting sucked up through a vacuum from hell to earth, and it's pulling her apart in very gruesome fashion.
Teleportation is like your meat moves, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And she reconstitutes back on Earth.
Yeah, very Hellraiser. I kind of like it.
It's cool. Yeah, it's very body horror. She sees the heroes risking their lives. Of course, they're trying to save everyone, including the villains, which makes her question her choices.
Oh, no shit. And they did it without hugging her or voting? That's pretty cool. Wow.
They were a little busy. They would have hugged her.
They just inspired her, huh?
So the heroes convince the villains to ditch Neron. They're like, you fucking idiots. Did you think we were going to abandon you to die? I understand the Phantom Zone is bad. All of the people are going to the Phantom Zone, not just you.
I did really like the discussion that the skull, the radioactive, what's his name? The atomic skull was having, where he's like, yeah, but like, you guys hate us. And like, I mean, I get it. You're good guys, but like, why are you being good now? We're all going to lose bad.
It's like they've never not like, you guys have been fighting these heroes, some of you for decades. When have you ever known a member of the Justice League to willingly let one of you die?
Right. How many times do these assholes have to vote you into the club?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Do you need a hug from Airwave?
Right. Perhaps we can bring the Titans in here and they can kiss you until you feel better.
So, of course, this deal extends to Owl Woman as well. She destroys the sphere containing all of the captured souls, which then go back into the bodies of the people who quickly realize that they are fucked because they are living in a hellscape now. But that's okay. The Phantom Zone is a portal away. She jumps back into a portal created by Dr. Occult because she realizes she needs to grab Mr. Terrific, who is still falling, by the way, into the abyss. He's not there yet. And she grabs him, throws his ass back into the portal to Earth. And as she tries to escape, John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, says, "That's it, you guys. Earth is lost. We fucking failed. Let's go."
Martian Manhunter sure has been sidelined through this whole thing. You know, like he's
kinda, yeah.
Kadejos has more action in this book.
Why wasn't Martian Manhunter in the tournament? That's right. What I don't know.
Why wasn't Martian Manhunter leading this whole thing in hell? I don't know. I mean, you know.
Well, because I don't know.
He would have had a better plan than a bomb up his butt. I'll tell you that much.
Would he? I don't know.
Yes.
He's not the seventh smartest man in the Justice
Well, maybe
League.
we needed someone a little dumber. I don't know.
So the portal closes, leaving Owl Woman in hell to face Neron's wrath. I guess she's fucking doomed.
But she's not a real person.
Well, I know, like,
So how's she going to suffer? She doesn't have a soul and she's stuck in
the
time.
hell bugs are going to tear her apart or whatever, and that'll be that.
What are they tearing apart? This is part of the shit that I don't understand, but we'll get there.
I mean, they still.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Keep going. Keep going.
All right. So, in the aftermath, Terrific is with the League. He's like, they sacrificed themselves, all of them. They died as heroes, and we get this kind of like nice homage of the Terrific 10 with Owl Woman front and center. He's saying to us, she did the right thing. She was one of them. And everybody, heroes, villains, and civilians, peace out into the Phantom Zone, which is literally the only place left for them to go.
Yeah. And next issue, a bunch of them are going to join the Justice League. It's crazy. We're going to have a bunch of bad guys in a story called Amnesty that join the Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah,
next
nice.
Issue. Clayton Henry's coming on with art as well. So that'll be rad.
I do like Clayton Henry.
I love Clayton Henry. So real quick, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Why do we need to go to hell? I would argue all that Neron shit can go to hell, literally, because we got bigger problems. And, someone's going to remake the universe anyway, so didn't need to do that. Yay!
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, like, it's the Justice League. They're going to try to save lives, and this is the plan they came up with. I mean, whether or not it's necessary, again, your mileage may vary. I think it's a very good story, and I think this is
good story. Great looking book. I'm giving it a buy it. I just don't understand why we had to do this. And I would love it if afterwards
with
Mr. Terrific and Light Ray or whatever his name, Airwave are like, Superman, tell us about the tournament. He's like, oh, wait, first you tell me what you guys did. And they're like, oh, we went to hell and a bunch of people got killed and we use these time displaced people we thought didn't exist, but it turns out they do. And one of them stuck there forever. And Superman's like, oh shit, you guys didn't need to do any of that.
Mr. Terrific saw you get eaten by a dragon.
Oh shit, you guys.
Oh, what do you mean me? I feel
man.
fine. No, it wasn't really you. It was like the past you, but it doesn't really matter anymore because he wasn't real.
Speaking of Superman, our penultimate chapter of KO is Superman 35, written by Joshua Williamson, with art and main cover by Dan Mora, art by Eddy Barrows, Eber Ferreira, Julio Ferreira, colors by Alejandro Sanchez, letters by Ariana Maher, 32 pages, $4.99. Here's your solicit. The end is nigh. Superman's time in the tournament is taking its toll. And now Darkseid's Legion plans to make a massive sacrifice for their lord. And Time Trapper is too late to stop him. Only 3 unlikely heroes can show the corrupted Legion the light. The end of this issue sets up the end of DCKO, but also a massive status quo change for Superman. Oh, okay.
I mean, sets up. Yeah, I agree.
Sets up. Yes. Our story opens with a glimpse of Superman talking to the Time Trapper Doomsday guy, and that's kind of it. They're just sort of having this like, hey, remember when they had this conversation in the pages of KO? It's going to be a thing. Pay attention. Meanwhile, Prime and Super Robot are fighting the Omega Legionnaires. Lightning Lad's taking on Prime. Cosmic Boy tears Super Robot's arms off.
Why would you let the robot fight Cosmic Boy?
So Cosmic Boy's
got magnetism.
He's Magneto, essentially, right?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe go fight Lightning Lad. I don't know.
Maybe go fight Saturn Girl. She's got telepathic powers.
Well, here's the thing, Joe. Saturn Girl is busy getting convinced by Lois not to be evil because Lois loves Superman.
Matt, I've got a very important question to ask you about this.
Yes.
Do they hug?
Actually, no, but they do get very close. They get very close. Supergirl tells Lois that, great, glad you like Superman. He died in KO4, by the way, and beats on Lois because she can read her mind. Lois is like, no, and she's like, I can read your mind, so I'm just dodging all your Superwoman BS. Nice friggin' try, right? Lois is like, I I love Superman, and you love Lightning Lad. Know how I know? Because you're in my head, and for some reason, I can kind of see some of your memories, and you like kissing on Lightning Lad. And she's like, no, stop it. If Darkseid finds out, and then she's like, that's the power of love, and they start playing the song.
Huey Lewis comes in and he's like, burp, burp.
Don't take money, don't take fame, don't need no credit card. Anyway, Prime is going to break Lightning Lad's neck, but Supergirl's like, no way. And Prime, he's like, you're right, I'm not that guy anymore. So he lets Lightning Lad go. Foreshadowing. And Supergirl,
dumb, but all right.
Saturn Girl takes the evil Legion gang and they boom out of there. But one problem, she has hope now. I'm doing a little thing where I put both my hands on my sides. And
it's very effective.
Yeah, and yeah,
it's a very effective signal of your car.
Once again,
I like it.
We had a chance to murder one of the 3 Legion characters that is going to be a very big problem in the future for the Legion and will still be around.
We don't know,
but we don't.
They're going to be a problem.
Do it. I guarantee they're going to be part of this Legion book.
I'm just saying, Matt.
100%.
Lois planted the seed of heroism
for Saturn Girl. Yes.
Look, I'm saying it was probably a mistake not to hug them before they went.
Definitely. Super Robot is messed up, but can still project the gigantic movie that he could only hold, as you recall, for a short amount of time because it was so big. It turns out Kryptonians are really bad at compressing video, apparently.
How many gigs do you think that file was?
I don't want to know.
Got to be at least a couple of gigs.
So he turns on his eyeballs and he shoots out a video of Mama Cal remembering the secret that was
Laura Lorvan.
The biggest secret you could possibly think of. And the secret was Doomsday. You ain't so bad, my man. And Doomsday's like, like, this is the fucking secret. She's like, you're not just death and destruction. You're the alpha because you can be reborn. And he goes,
there's more. Yeah. I mean, it is very corny, but the gist of it is that Darkseid is the Omega. Yes. But Doomsday is the alpha. He's the end and the beginning. He's got the power of rebirth within him. And that is foreshadowing for DCKO number 5.
Doomsday is like, fuck yeah, flies off. I'm going to go beat up Darkseid. Kind of. We'll see.
And then the robot dies.
Then we get an Easter egg ending where we see Lois, who is now in a full-on super suit because nobody talked to this artist. She takes Prime.
Well, it's later.
Right. She changes into a super suit, I guess. She
puts on her Superwoman outfit.
She takes Prime to meet Ma and Pa Kent in space after they spoil the ending of Justice League Unlimited 16. If you hadn't read it, I didn't read it yet at this point.
And also Titans.
I didn't realize that you were supposed to read this one right before KO. That's on me, not the story. Next, we get the reign of the Superboys, where Superman or Superboy Prime or Man Prime or whatever we're calling him.
Superboy Prime.
He's going to be there with a bunch of other super kids running around. Is it some must-read tie-in? Yes.
I think so, yes.
It definitely is. Did it get super fucking cheeseball? Yes, it definitely did. Was the big secret that Mama Cal or Mama Soups was going to tell Doomsday that big of a secret? No.
Yes.
I think we kind of saw this shit coming.
It is the key to victory in the next issue.
Yeah, but I think we kind of fucking saw this shit coming and like.
Well, I mean, is it corny as hell? Yeah. Is it a good way? Has this been a great way?
It has been.
To do something good with a character that had been so overused and one note like Doomsday.
Sure.
He shows up.
It's very interesting.
You can't kill him. Or when you kill him, he comes back stronger.
Hold off on that because we're going to have a whole bunch of discussion on that in just a minute here. I'm giving this a buy it.
It's also a buy it. Yeah.
But it was cheesy as fucking hell.
Look, it's cheesy, but sometimes cheese is good. You know, I like cheese. Holy shit, we did it. We're done. Oh, no, wait. Sorry. We actually have to talk about the conclusion.
Yeah. We got to talk about Lex Luthor killing Darkseid. Come on.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I forgot the most important thing. If it seemed like we were speeding through those tie-ins, you are not wrong because DCKO number 5 has a lot going on and we're going to get waist deep into all of it.
Also, we did not speed through those tie-ins because we're almost 55 minutes into this show.
We kind of did. All right. This is written by Scott Snyder with Joshua Williamson contributing the interlude and the coda. Cover and main story art by Javi Fernandez. Interlude art by Zermanico. And coda art by Wes Craig. You might remember that Wes Craig contributed to the start of the Absolute Universe, and that's going to come into play here. Colors are by Alejandro Sanchez. Letters by Hassan Asmani Alao. It says 32 pages for $5.99, but I swear to God, it felt like 64 pages.
It really did.
It's just a lot, guys. So, to solicit, the final battle for the heart of Apocalypse. In the melee that started with dozens of heroes and villains vying for their chance to win the ultimate power in the universe, now only one remains, Lex Luthor. But to truly be crowned the King Omega, you must battle more than the obstacles in your path. You must battle yourself. What the fuck is that bullshit? That's not part of it. You have to fight Darkseid, goddammit. It's the finale to end all finales as the one true champion is crowned.
We were busy like doing a lot of stuff. So
it's true.
Things slip through the cracks, Joe.
I don't think Lex Luthor is getting to the heart of his own identity. No. This issue begins immediately after the ending of KO number 4. Luthor has shot Superman in the back. He has won the final round of the KO tournament. The Heart of Apocalypse declares he's the champion. He is the King Omega. Darkseid is like, hell yeah, let's do it. He's ready to throw down. But first, we have to take a flashback to game night. Again, we're back to game night. Turns out all of this game night shit is a pocket timeline created by the Time Trapper to protect Superman because he knew no one else could be trusted to do the right thing if they won. We learn that this version of Doomsday, who is, again, the Time Trapper, he's from the end of time. This isn't like Doomsday from 2 days ago. This is Doomsday from eons and eons in the future. He has spent all of that time as a conduit for both Omega and Alpha Energy. What is Alpha Energy, you might ask? Good question. We literally just learned about
Nobody
it.
knows. So
I
like
would
Omega,
argue
it's like Omega speed.
Is better,
or Omega energy.
it is better explained than Omega speed, that's for sure.
Only
if you read the
slightly.
Superman tie-in, you know Alpha Energy is the energy of creation and rebirth. Obviously, if there was an Omega, you had to have seen the whole Alpha thing coming. Like I would argue
Yes.
you are a dummy if you
Come
didn't.
on. Yes. And Doomsday, who's constantly reborn after he dies, who would have guessed? Wow. It was him, a Resurrection Man was going to be your guy, basically.
I mean, I wish it had been Resurrection Man.
Resurrection Man's busy in an awesome fucking comic book that no one is reading. So,
Well, I think that's over too. And it was Black Label. Doomsday knows breaking his own cycle of death and rebirth, it's the only way. Superman is destined to become the real King Omega. And so the Time Trapper grants Superman all of the Alpha energy he has. He gives up his own final resurrection. Doomsday is like, it's yours now. And he dies.
and I promise you, readers, you will never see Doomsday ever again. He's gone.
That's it.
He's dead.
There is no more Doomsday.
100%.
It's a great,
You heard it here.
2-page spread. It's a very cool 2-page spread.
It is very cool.
The Doomsday is yelling "Live" in gigantic lightning letters, and all of the iterations of Doomsday's life are pouring into Superman's body. It's very cool.
I predict we see
Superman-
Doomsday in less than 2 months.
Right. And again, remember, this is Doomsday from the end of time.
Sure,
This isn't
sure.
Doomsday from last week when we saw him at the taco truck. Superman is reborn with all of the power of creation. Doomsday dies his final death. Sure, we'll see. Back in the arena now, Lex is strutting around. He thinks he's hot shit. That is short-lived because Superman shows up and Lex is instantly obliterated. He just gets dusted immediately.
Are they suggesting that Superman fried him with his heat vision? Because what?
No, I think Superman poofed into the arena And it was like, just kidding. Superman's the winner.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Lex got statued.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Because the only way to become King Omega was to fight and win. They did not fight. I assumed in this panel, Superman zapped him with his heat vision and killed him. Because I don't know what else is going on.
Let me look.
There's no explanation. They just show Lex and he's like, all that's left to say is, and his hand is up, and there's
you're right. Yeah, he kind of turns to.
There's definitely heat or energy or something coming from behind him. There is a glow,
and a pinkish glow
burns him to a skeleton. Because the next panel,
no, not a skeleton.
That is a skeleton hand and a skeleton arm in that final panel.
Oh, I guess you're right. It is sort of skeleton-y.
No question. And then behind him, poof of ashes, and there's Superman.
And there's Superman. Yeah,
he murdered Lex Luthor. Murdered the hell out of Lex Luthor.
Well, in the context of the tournament, I guess.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Look, Matt, I didn't write the fucking book, but you are right. Looking at the thing, you are right.
All those super trolls that piled on Joe Patrick back in the day on Twitter, guess what? Vengeance is yours. You're absolutely right. Superman kills people.
Superman doesn't kill people when he knows it's for real.
Redemption.
All right. Anyway, Superman shows up and he says, all that's left to say is ding, ding, because we've got to shoehorn in the boxing / wrestling theme as often as we can. Also, or else people will forget.
Superman is imbued with alpha energy, but he has the same Omega glow and crown that Lex Luthor had because he was King Omega. And after Superman fries Lex, it says, we have a new King Omega.
I think that's because Superman now has all of the Omega energy Lex had, as well as the Alpha energy.
I know. I think we should have just been like, what is this? A King Alpha? And maybe I would have been a little less confused.
Sure. Right? I understand. Okay. I get it. I mean, you're not wrong at all.
Yeah.
Of course, this is exactly what Darkseid wanted because, and I cannot stress this enough. We've said it before. We saw it in other tie-ins. Darkseid is bad at this shit.
He really is.
He's not good.
On the list,
I don't care how tough he is.
Yeah.
You should not want your only chance of losing to be the one that shows up at the end.
Yes, this far outweighs the Titans kissing Terra on the forehead and letting her in.
Right. Like, and Darkseid is like, yes. And so,
yeah, this is worse than crashing 13 shield helicarriers.
And so, before the fisticuffs begin, the Alpha energy or the Omega energy, I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. Right. Don't think about it. Pours from Superman and the universe is restored. Oh, yes. The heart of Apocalypse enters Superman's body, I presume through the butt.
But also, the heart wanted all this, is trying to start the fight because he wants Darkseid to win.
Save your questions because I promise you, I have them as well.
And getting the heart into you makes you King Omega. So I guess it was in Lex. And now it is.
I think that Superman showed up before the heart of Apocalypse could actually like
go up Lex's butt.
Yeah.
I gotcha. All right.
Lex was busy. He had to take off all that armor first. He's wearing that battle suit and you can't go up a butt with all that armor.
Now we let the War of Kings begin.
Now the War of Kings begins. And these guys, they're fighting and they're punching so hard that galaxies shudder. But it doesn't matter. Darkseid can't be beaten. He is too strong. It doesn't matter how much fucking whatever Superman has. Every moment they fight through is claimed and corrupted by Darkseid. I don't know what that means. Don't ask me to explain it. It also doesn't matter.
I think it's because they are fighting in his universe. And when Superman starts building his universe, remaking the universe, it's empowering Superman because we see them fighting like through Themyscira and the Rock of Eternity and and all that shit. And then Superman's like, hold on, let me take a break and fart out my universe. And so we can fight there where I am empowered by alpha energy, right? Because fighting with Omega energy is not the answer. Omega energy, bad. Alpha energy, good.
Right. In case that metaphor is lost on you.
Yeah. I think that's what we're doing.
When Superman restores the universe, he's starting at the beginning, right? And so they say that he goes through millions of years and then they get to a certain point and fight. And so after they fight for a while, they stop, and now Superman is creating the present.
Yeah, he goes back to the
Hall of Justice.
He goes to the Big Bang and he creates the universe.
Yeah. The thing that I don't understand, Matt, is it says that wherever they go, Darkseid has the upper hand, and so that region or that time period or whatever is claimed by Darkseid. But I don't get it. It's like, is it like a video game map where you're not successful in clearing out the villain hideout?
No,
I don't understand.
No, I think he is, like I said, I think he is nerfed.
Is it Risk where Darkseid's got more pegs on the board?
Superman is nerfed because they are in Omega universe. And when he creates Alpha universe, he now gets power, and they say that's when the Heart starts talking shit and going, oh crap, we have ourselves a fight, ladies and gentlemen, because now he's got his own universe that's Alpha empowered. Omega universe is Omega powered, but they're going between the two, so they're evenly matched now. Maybe.
Yeah, none of this shit is gospel because we are making it up as we go.
I say this with 42% certainty. Okay.
I say it with 53% certainty
but
that
he says,
we are completely clueless.
Superman in this panel where they are punching each other, he says, I send all the Omega in me to his arms, his fists. They go blow for blow, punches that make the whole galaxy shudder. Hit him now, Clark. Like the Heart is like, do it this way. Do it with the Omega energy.
So Superman realizes he doesn't want to play the Heart's game. He refuses. He uses the power within him to restore the fallen heroes and defeat Darkseid. And the Heart of Apocalypse is like, yo, bro, what about your perfect universe? And he shows him the weird Legion Tower and everybody having a Legion ring and it being Superman's paradise. And Superman's like, not me, Buster. And he reaches inside his own chest and destroys the Heart of Apocalypse.
What was the fucking Heart of Apocalypse? What was it?
I don't know. I'll tell you what I do know.
This is when you reveal.
It was not a trapped new god.
Right. This is when you reveal, all along it was...
It's Metron.
Right. And he's, Metron, he always be screwing with us, like...
Right, no. And so he instead destroys the Heart, unleashes the energy, restores everybody from the fight that died, and he gives us, I think, our last pained wrestling metaphor. And he says, I'm not quitting. I'm just tagging them in. I don't know.
There's been a lot of boxing metaphors too. So
yeah, right. Here. And so, but we saw Superman destroy the Heart, and yet the Heart is still like complaining to him. It's like, you had a chance to win. Why did you do that? Whatever. And Superman says, look, I like a game where everybody gets to win because I'm fucking Superman.
It's almost like he said something exactly like that in the first issue too. Full circle.
Oh gosh. Wow. And so we see now Superman says to his pals, well, he doesn't say any. Yeah, he does. He's like,
straight up says,
welcome back, guys. Hey, glad to see you. I'm going to go actually set the multiverse right, and I'll see you later. And so he goes back into I fucking don't know, dude.
Oh, somewhere away.
Again, so it says, I wind it back to the beginning, Omega to Alpha. And now he sets all of the energy free, all of the stuff that he had been gathered within him, and he restores all of existence, the multiverse, whatever. And we see this montage of all the different corners of the DCU, which is basically a DC Next Level tease because it's Deadman and Zatanna and all the new books we're getting.
I do wish.
And then he fucking
I do wish he
leaves.
would stop and say, but I'm very careful to make sure the absolute universe still sucks for absolute Batman, Wonder Woman, and me. Right? Like, wait a minute, dude. Like, why didn't you fix that?
At the end of it all, Superman disappears. He's gone. And so now it's the epilogue. And it is another goddamn game night. Superman is missing. Lois, Bruce, and Diana, they're all hopeful, of course. And then we get this montage of future stories. Mr. Terrific is talking about what happened and how everybody that was at the site of the tournament, the arena, Earth, what have you, when all of that energy was released, is now imbued with alpha and or omega energy. That is important for future storylines in other books. So just bear that in mind, I guess.
Maybe.
I mean, it definitely is, because I've read some of the books from this week and they talk about it. Booster Gold is here. He's feeling much better.
One panel.
And
just, I'm all better. A god crawled out of his mouth and he's like, oh man, that sucked. But I'm feeling much better.
A giant baby-faced Darkseid crawled out of his mouth. But he's like, Superman's missing and I'm the one to find him. The dude saved me, whatever. We also see Superboy Prime. He's like, I'm Superman now because the real Superman's missing. Then we see what Matt hinted at when we talked about Superman, the last issue of Superman. They are in the Legion of Superheroes future on the Prime Earth.
Tell them who they are. You didn't say they are. You just said
the Darkseid's Legion.
Thank you.
Or at the very least, just the three of them: Saturn Girl, Cosmic Boy, and Lightning Lad. We see Cyborg alive and well in Titans HQ, talking about something called the Heart of Cyborg Protocol. This again.
Yeah.
What can't Cyborg do?
Maybe
the answer is nothing.
Maybe
he can do anything.
Maybe he can become the Heart of Apocalypse in the future. I don't know.
Ooh, maybe. Lex Luthor is like, he's back in charge of LexCorp. He says, Mercy, get me some reporters. I want everybody to know how I saved the universe. And we see confirmation that Bruce's night fight Utopia with adult Damon and baby Alfred is still out there somewhere, and they are receiving signals from the Bat Box from the other Batman.
Hooray.
Hooray.
Hooray. That's all I can say.
Now, we're not quite done. We get Barry Allen, who is coming home from, I guess, the comic book store. He's singing a song about how he loves Wednesdays and he's got a huge stack of comic books.
I guess it was Barry Allen, a comic book nerd. Is that his thing?
Never in all my days have I known Barry Allen to be a comic book nerd.
All right.
But when he gets home, he looks at his laptop and he discovers that there is a new chapter 0 in his multiverse timeline. And he's like, I didn't write that shit.
He also doesn't have any powers. Is that like... So that's
Barry, I believe, does not currently have his powers.
Right. Okay. I didn't know if he got them again and then it was wound back again, or I'm just so fucking confused by that Flash run that don't worry about it.
Buddy guy, I could not tell you.
Yeah.
And so we get some narration here. Speaking to Barry, he's reading this chapter 0. You forgot my real story. You left me behind. I did the right thing, and all of you took my world from me. Then the computer explodes and we see a moment that you might recognize from the All In special, which is Darkseid's hands creating the absolute universe. What does it mean? Who the fuck knows? Finally, we see Darkseid, who obviously survived because you can't kill Darkseid. He's too cool. And he reveals that the absolute universe survived unscathed, ready for him to weaponize again, because Superman had a chance to recreate anything and just let those dudes linger in their sorrow.
Also, these absolute versions look evil. Maybe not Wonder Woman, but like Superman and absolute Batman. Maybe it's just the way Wes Craig's drawn him.
I think it's just the way Wes
Or maybe
Craig's
Wes Craig was not given the memo.
No, I think it's just Wes Craig's style.
I mean, fair enough.
And then Darkseid reveals that as the DCKO tournament raged on the Prime Earth or Earth 0 or whatever the fuck we're supposed to call it these days, KO tournaments have also been happening across the entire multiverse, creating an army of Omega champions from other realities. And we see these realities. It's the Tangent universe, the Just Imagine Stan Lee created Bruce Batmanicus universe, Earth 3, Grant Morrison's Multiversity. And he's saying all this to somebody. And the internet agrees with me. There is a figure in the shadows wearing a red hooded outfit with a cape. It is fucking Pandora.
I think it's Sister
from
Zella.
New 52.
I think it's Sister Zella from the Wildcats.
It is fucking Pandora, you guys, because Scott Snyder, he did it again. And Darkseid says, once the infinite Earths fall, there will be a crisis of absolute proportions. Coming in 2027, crisis on absolute Earths. That's me, by the way. Predicting that.
They have to call it Crisis of Absolute Proportions. They have to.
So stupid. No, it'll be called Crisis on Absolute Earth. I guarantee it.
Crisis of Absolute Proportions or we riot. This is definitely Pandora.
And that is the end of DCKO.
This is definitely Pandora because there has been so much. Let's redo Jeff Johns shit. Let's bring Jeff Johns shit back. We miss you, Jeff Johns. There's been so
let's re-examine all of the stuff from the New 52 that maybe wasn't quite so bad, guys.
Well, not just that. I mean, the only thing they didn't touch on was Dr. Manhattan, being part of this or some shit.
That's true.
So,
I'm kind of surprised that there was nothing about Dr. Manhattan.
Or 3 Jokers running around or some bullshit.
Fucking, I don't want to ever think about 3 Jokers again.
After the end of this, nothing that happens here touches the Absolute books at all.
No, if you're not reading this book, if you're not reading this series, you would not even know that anything happened to those guys.
No, if you were just picking up Absolute Wonder Woman, you would have no clue. And you know what?
Right. You'd be like, oh man, Did you see Batman's got chainsaw arms now? And
fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that because I like the Absolute books more.
I want them to be separate from all of these shenanigans.
All this does is set up a bunch of chess pieces for new DC stories. And maybe that's what all these big crossovers and crises have done.
That's kind of what every event book is all about.
Okay. But I would argue this one, it is so obvious that all we were trying to do was put chess pieces in place. So much so that we forgot to explain what the fuck you just read.
I will tell you this. I have been reading comic books for over 45 years. That's not an exaggeration. I consider myself something of an expert, and that's not a brag. That's just like Malcolm Gladwell rules. I've put in my 10,000 hours.
Right.
And I've read every event comic DC Comics has ever put out. And I read this and I'm like, what's the Heart of Apocalypse?
Right.
I still don't know.
That's where I'm at. It's not that it didn't execute its job. It executed its job. Well done. But my questions are, what are vital plot points and things that were mentioned and stuff that we totally seem to have forgot about or didn't matter at all? What does it all have to do with this other than we wanted to have the biggest fight with Superman and Darkseid ever?
This could have been a 5-issue miniseries where Superman and Darkseid fight, and that's it.
Right. That's ultimately,
for as much as any of the rest of it matters.
Ultimately, that's all that happened. They never even explained like what all this fucking energy was. And maybe that comes out in these next issues of, oh, you absorb some alpha energy, you absorb some omega energy. But my guess is this shit gets forgotten as quickly as the power swap we had last time.
Or Perpetua.
Or any of that shit, I am interested to see bad guys in the Justice League. That's fun. Let's do that. That'll be cool. I'm interested in Aquaman. I think the Reign of the Superboys is probably going to be fun. Batman is doing its own Batman thing. They set up some stuff for the Red Hood, and maybe this Titan shit will be
Titans. Yeah.
Great. You put the pieces in place. I do not think this was an effective event. I think this was a mess. No. I think the art was better in DCKO 5. I'll say that. The art was way better.
I feel like maybe that's because Javi Fernandez was pouring most of his energy into this issue.
Probably.
And that's why 3 and 4 were kind of like,
Maybe. But ultimately, this was a big pretty mess, and it wasn't always pretty.
I mean, it was mostly pretty, but look, I'm telling you, I have read recaps. I have pored over every issue multiple times.
Yeah, I've watched YouTube explanations, and even they are like, I think that's what happened. It literally is just, it was an excuse for DC, for Scott Snyder to smash the action figures together because it's cool. Well, pick the action figures up, smash them together, and then set them down in slightly different places.
Yeah. You're right.
This is a scam.
And I'm telling you, like, I've read some of the aftermath issues. All of the books are starting new storylines as of last week and this week. And I read Green Lantern Corps. There's such a seismic shift in what's going on in Green Lantern Corps that I'm like, I hope that this was at least set up in the previous issue, because otherwise they just expect you to roll with it.
No, it was. There was some setup there. I'm giving this a Skim It. I'm giving this issue a Skim It, and I'm giving the entire event a Skim It.
Yes, I agree. But looking back, I think for me as a fan, the most fun thing about all of DC's events has always been what's next.
No, for sure.
It was the same with Infinite Crisis.
Without question.
The same with even Crisis on Infinite Earths, which I didn't, was already done by the time I was like reading on a regular basis.
Right.
But all of DC's events, the most important fun thing for me is now what do they do?
No question. And like ultimately, look, from issue 1 of this, we wanted to teach you that bad is bad and good is good. Like, oh, thanks.
In case you didn't know.
Thank you.
This very simple morality
play. I see. Oh, so Superman's a good guy? And wait a minute. Darkseid's the bad guy? And Darkseid wants to be the only winner and Superman wants everyone to win? Like, oh, okay. Thanks.
Right. And it's just like,
and like if you look at the end of like Crisis on Infinite Earths, that was such a seismic shift because like the multiverse was brought together, and then they broke it up and put it back together 7 more times.
I mean, Crisis on Infinite Earths was a line-wide restructuring.
Right.
That's a little bit different. But every event since then has basically been resetting the deck chairs.
Right. Some variation of there's lots of Earths. There's only 4 Earths. There's 52 Earths. There's a million Earths.
It's like, ooh, okay. Now Two-Face is a good guy. And
right. And they
it's 1 year later.
They
and
kind of tried to do that with the end of this where, afterthought. Also, there were tournaments all over the multiverse, and I got a bunch of bad guys. I'm going to sigh. I am tired of this. I am tired of the multiverse.
Maybe it reads better in one shot, but I have to think that if you read all of this in one sitting, you would probably say that you're done with DC Comics.
Or you might just go, oh, so Darkseid's still doing this shit. Thanks.
You would be like, oh, nothing happened.
Yeah, I'm just tired of Darkseid. I don't find him interesting. I don't think he's been well handled.
He's
for a
overused.
Long time.
There are other villains
completely overused. Yeah, and I don't care. It's Skim It. Thanks, guys.
Not their best.
Yeah, not their best.
But you know what? I will claim at least a spiritual victory because I said it from the beginning.
You did. You called your shot.
Thing fucking sucks.
You called your shot. Although, after you finished this book last week, you went, you know what? I think I really liked DCKO5.
No, I said, I think I kind of liked DCKO5.
I think DCKO5 might be my favorite DC comic book I've ever read, and I was wrong.
I didn't say anything like that, and you know it.
About everything I said.
KO. Game over.
Excelsior.
That is it for THN 807. Next week, we are back to the business of reviewing new comics. But if you need more THN in the meantime, join our Discord. You can find out more at twoheadednerd.com. There's more KO discussion there, and I definitely want you to come to the THN Gang Hang on Saturdays at 11. This Saturday, not only do we need to unpack our feelings about KO with the listeners, but the Starfleet Academy finale is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And you guys, it's going to be a fucking doozy.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the show if you're watching us on YouTube, where we put up a bunch of pictures of what we're talking about. We've even got a handy dandy KO playlist if you want to listen to all this back from front and then show up the gang hang and be like, I'm prepped, you guys are wrong. It was the best thing I've ever read. I would love to hear from you. If you dig the podcast, give us a rating, a review wherever you download the show. It helps us to get in the ears of other potential listeners.
I like to think that our DCKO coverage is the ideal way for fans to experience DCKO.
Yeah, the unabridged, bullshit-filled.
Don't bother reading the event. Just listen to us ramble. You'll get it.
THN is a listener-supported podcast. It would not be possible without the generosity of donors like our patron, David Desmond. If you like what you hear and you don't want to read these books, you want us to read them for you, we will do that and give you some exclusive THN content when you become a patron over at patreon.com/two-headed nerd, just like our man David did.
David Desmond sounds like a secret agent.
Like Dave DeMarco's nemesis.
Sure. Before we go, this week's shout out goes to the official THN historian, Jason Sachs. After years of faithful service, Jason has at long last entered retirement from his day job, not from THN.
Yo, he's still our historian. I was like, who the fuck's our historian? Wait a minute. We didn't plan for this.
No. He can't quit us. That's not how we do things. Word to you, Jason. You deserve it. He and his wife are on their way to a life-changing trip of Japan as we speak. They are going to have the best time.
Until next time, true believers, remember to pre-order your comics, or your retailer might tell everyone you've got an Omega Speed tattoo on your chest. It's like a flashlighting bolt, but it's made of poop. This is the Two-Headed Nerd, signing off.
Why is it made out of poop?
Because it's evil speed, bro. It's Omega Speed. I don't know. They never explained it. It's fucking stupid.
Kinda.